do. And I don't wanna cry no more. I don't wanna for sure. And I don't wanna lead you on. And I don't wanna cry no more. You are now tuned in to the highly. You're now tuned into the highly. You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in. You are now tuned in to the
Highly Flavored Podcast.
All right, guys, what's going on? This is the Highly Flavored Podcast. This right here is episode number 18. Episode number 18, guys. And just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Everyone on live, anyone who will be tuning in on the live on Facebook and the live on Instagram. I am again attempting, to roll out things differently. I want to do a live every Tuesday night. Then the audio up Wednesday morning and the video out by Wednesday night or Thursday morning at the latest. It's been going pretty good so far. As far as putting that content together, some of you guys have been a little more engaging on the live feeds, which I really appreciate because it helps me continuously generate the content as I'm going through each episode and talking and give me different talking points or just shed new light on something that I'm saying. So everything isn't so just one-sided and only coming from me. So I'm highly appreciative for that. You guys have been doing great. The artists who are submitting the music for review, you guys still don't get it. Major streaming platforms only. Don't send me your SoundCloud link. I'm looking for EPs or full-length projects to review. If it dropped within the last 3 months, I'm all for it. If it's being released soon, I'm really all for that. Send it to me. I can review it. I can talk about it. Try to help get you some more streams and things like that. I'll share it on my Instagram platforms. I'll also share it on my Facebook. I'll share it on the podcast page and my music page. Things like that. I will review it truthfully. My truthfulness. If I like it, dislike it, what I like the best, whatever song I like the most, and things like that. If I disliked it, I'll say why. If it's the quality of the music as far as the recording of it, like studio quality, I'll say that. If it's the actual quality of the music referring to my personal taste in music, I'll say that as well. I'll try my best not to be biased to my own opinion and things of that nature, but I will give it my best review and take things for what it is. But getting into this episode now, guys, again, thank you for tuning in, all of you who are on the IG and the live, and those who will be listening later on SoundCloud and watching on YouTube. Not a super busy news week. A lot of, pretty much just get right into it. Soulja Boy has been controlling 2019 so far with his content with his content creativeness and the way he goes about creating his content. Of recently, all of his rants have been viral. He's now like the meme of 2019 so far. His music sales have went up 78%, I believe it was, since him saying that a lot of people have been taking his flow and things like that. Dime, what's going on? How you feeling? A lot of people have been going back to listen to all of these songs that he's saying, this person stole my flow from this song and this person stole my flow from this song, because people want to see the comparison, so they go back and listen. So he's doing, it's smart marketing. Some of it could seem annoying, but at the end of the day, we find it highly entertaining. Pretty much that's where we are in this era, the social media era. A lot of the positive messaging doesn't go out. If he just came out and said, I'm doing this and this is my business and this and that and the third, he might not be getting as much support on his music if he wasn't making these claims, And then he went after Ariana Grande and saying that she's a thief. Now, crazy to say, the flow of that song, the cadence, well, not the cadence, but the flow of that song is of Soulja Boy's, ilk. It is something that he had obviously prior to the song. So, he wants his credit from everybody. He wants his credit from, if Jesus came down and dropped the song, he'll say, nah, Jesus got that song from me. So Soulja Boy is on it right now. Right now, 2019 is his. Um, we'll wait to see what is going to become of this music. He's saying he had an album coming soon. Obviously, that's the smart move by him since he's getting all the attention. Said he had a single in the works. I've never heard the song. I haven't went to go and look and see if the song is actually a hit song. I'm gonna, quote unquote that because I guess no, I can't quote unquote that. A hit is a hit. A hit is what it is based on, it just based on numbers. It's not really based on if the song is actually good or not. So with him doing everything, is he? I don't know if he's still putting himself in the right position to win moving forward. That's my thing. I don't know if he's going to continuously um I would like to see him just collab with more people. I'm not a Soulja Boy fan. And as far as just wanting to tune in to listen to a Soulja Boy project, like if he dropped the project next week, I'm not rushing to go and listen to the project, But if he had a shit ton of features from good named artists, then I'll be a little more excited to go and see. Because when you want to know, like, how did the song turn out? Did they go in and give him dumbed down verses? Are these, did they copy his flow on the song that he's on with him? All of those kind of things, man. It's just a lot about, I don't know, man. He like I can't put my finger on his creative marketing scheme or whatever, because for his last couple big runs, so to speak, have all been the same. He just come out, he's saying some outlandish things on social media, he gets loud and ignorant, and then the media, the social media wave, you all fall in love with it because it's something to talk about, something to do, something to make memes from, and all these types of things. And I guess that's the way for it. It'll work out for music. I think that's okay to do if music's coming after that. I don't know how good that works out for the other businesses he's trying to align himself with though. This whole emulator council thing he's trying to push as far as the video game, at the watches and all these other things. So yeah, I've never really been a fan either. Everybody was doing the crank dad and all that stuff like as kids growing up, but I wasn't like bending over backwards, so to speak, to listen to some Soulja Boy music. It was entertaining. It was what it was for that time. I don't, and he was ahead of a lot of the things that are going on now. So it just for me and this whole Soulja Boy thing, it's almost like how we say, everyone likes watching to see the train crash. It's one of those things where we see the rise of an artist. He comes on the scene, he does a lot of things. He's young, makes a lot of money really, really fast. A lot of it's independent, so we commend all of those things. And then we see him hit a peak, and then we want to see how fast he's going to hit the bottom. And he started crashing down, and then he'll hit like a quick little hill, real quick, a little dip that sends him back up like a roller coaster, going down. It's going down and it's going right back up really, really fast. I want to see what happens to the point where it's going to shoot back down, like what's going to happen on the other side. And I'm not wishing it on him, but it's just been a pattern of his. It's just something that we have consistently seen from Soulja Boy, how he comes on the scene, you think it's going to be good, the music's coming out, even if you like or dislike the music, it does okay numbers, and then he either disappears or he does something that leaves like a bad taste in the mouths of just the public, and we just pretty much write him off, so to speak, until he does some other dumb shit. Um, so you know, 2019 belongs to Soldier, man. Like for now, it's his. He owns it. It's only the first quarter. It's early. There's a lot of other people trying to put their horse in the race. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get there. I don't know if they're gonna do it the same exact way. I don't know if they're gonna have the same ideal mindset as far as like trying to promote this music and other businesses at the same time and whatever I'm getting into and the 50 other things. So that's just one of the things, we'll have to wait and see. We're on a wait and see with Soldier Boy. But as far as his business goes and things like that, another huge internet um, like issue has been when he was on Everyday Struggle and the Deska was asking him a question of why do you have so many businesses? Now, being as though that's the only soundbite that is being circulated of her just asking a question, and she kind of tried to elaborate more like on it, but that's not something that's out in circulation. Heavy, obviously, because we like the drama, we don't like the entire truth. I watch the show a lot. That's one of the shows that I frequently watch. As far as like podcasting and webcasting or whatever you want to call that show, web series, and she was also referring that question to saying, on that episode, not just afterward, because she explained more today in detail. That I'm as an entrepreneur, if you're building this business or businesses, wouldn't you want to focus on making these things thrive first instead of continuously throwing yourself into multiple things, spreading yourself thin? Because but she was asking that on that same episode that everyone's taking this one little clip, a soundbite from, and they were like dragging her through the mud the entire weekend. And I was confused when I saw it because I was like, well, that wasn't what I got from that. I didn't get that from that question, and maybe some other people didn't either. But the stuff obviously that's hitting the airwaves is a whole bunch of people, especially black people, because the main topic was Nadeska doesn't support black businesses. The the mindset to think that when I think she's one of the people who have been publicly speaking out in the public often about black business and black owned business and how we need to do more things together and stick together, things like that. She said it pretty frequently on the show and throughout her content that she shares on her social media and things like that. And then to hear that, and I'm like, I didn't get that. I didn't get that from that question. I got the same exact sentiment because I was saying the same thing. Like, why is he's spreading himself thin? In my opinion, he's doing too much. Um, just for the simple, I see if he was just like an investor in these things, put some money in and backed off and let his money work. But he's out here and he's talking about a lot of these things, and he doesn't really seem to know what he's talking about. That's the issue that I'm having with Soulja Boy. It's like you're in all of these businesses and everything that's going on around it, and you're trying to be the face and the front runner, and you're trying to be the marketing guy out here putting your face on these things. But then when people ask you like tech questions and things about moving forward, it's either you come up with some weird way to answer that, you say yes, or you say, oh no, that's coming. Like when he asked him, like when academics asked him about his counsel, which I believe is not a counsel either. Um, he said, well, can you play Fortnite on this or whatever? Now, granted, everything that comes out is not going to just have a license to play Fortnite. But what he was asking is, like, can you play something different than the 800 games that you guys have stolen, so quote unquote, to put on this emulator? And he was like, no, it's coming. No, it's not. It's not. It's not something that's coming soon. I don't see it with that type of system that's on there. I don't see something like a Fortnite coming to something like that. I don't see it because there's no point for them to even engage in it. The market's too small. Um, it's kind of pointless. It's not like it's a new cell phone where you're trying to get it branded to be able to play Fortnite on your phone, like the latest iPhones and the Galaxies and things like that. It's nothing of that ilk. It's just I can play old Nintendo games, and the thing about that as a being an emulator is I can do that on my phone. I can put an emulator on my cell phone and play all those old games. I can put an emulator on my desktop computer or on my laptop. I can play all those old games. I don't need to spend the $100 or whatever it costs to get that system that you're promoting to do those things. I can do that on my own, without any help from me. I just need the internet. So it's not something that people should be bending over backwards to go and get. And granted, Fortnite is a free to play game as well as other games, but it by it not being available on that system is like it's pointless because obviously that would have been maybe the highest selling point because PlayStations, Xboxes, Nintendo Switches, and things like that are around $300 a while. So for you to have something that's $100 that can play something that all of these kids are craving about, it's cheaper. It comes with a controller. You can play the game. It connects to the internet. You can play Fortnite. You would have been cool. You probably would have made all of your money that way. Especially if it's a good running council and it works. You see what I'm saying? So those are things that you think about, and when he talks, you're like, I don't think you're really in the business for this. Because me, that would have been my attacking point. That would have been the only reason I would have been trying to get into the video gaming space. Is microtransactions because that's where we are as far as gaming goes now. We're in the era of microtransactions where you get a game, it's free to play, but everything in the game costs money if you want to compete or if you want to be competitive or you want to look different and you want to have, what I'm saying, and things like that. That's where Fortnite is winning. That's where 2K is winning. That's maybe where Madden is winning too. I've never spent money on Madden besides buying the game, so I'm not sure how much revenue they generate from their microtransactions. But they have a large community as well. The people who spend their money on their MUT mode. So I would like Soulja Boy to be more about knowing and understanding the ins and out of the businesses that he's putting either his name, his money, or both behind. It only makes sense. It's not something that you should tread lightly. So I agree with Nadeska for asking that question. Why are you in so many businesses? Why do you have so many businesses? Because the definition of success to some people, it always obviously it means something different. So maybe Soldier Boy's like, hey, I made some money, it's successful enough for me. But from the outside looking in, we're like, nah, that's not really a successful business. Depending on what the business is, and that's our perception of what we're deeming a successful business to be. So we could be wrong. As the public eye, we could be wrong. We could be like, hey, listen, at the end of the day, he didn't go in debt with the business. He made a profit, regardless of what it is. It's the profit, so we should look at that as a win. Like he's winning, he's making money. Okay, cool. If we take it that way, and he's making money, he's not in debt from any of these businesses. Great, I'm with it. I'm rocking. You know. But if you're trying to promote something and you don't know what you're talking about, and I know you don't know what you're talking about, or I know you're lying saying it's coming soon, and thing like that, no, that means you wrote it down and you're gonna ask about it later. You can tell when people say certain things, like, oh no 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 no, it's coming, yeah, no no, on the next one, on the next one. Nah, it's not. It might not. I don't think it's gonna be on the next one. Prove me wrong. I want it to be. I want you to do good, not just as a black business owner, just as a business owner in general. Someone creating your own passive income. I'm with that. I'm with that 100%. Rock out. Do your thing. Do your thing. Figure out a way to make it work. You know, but it being in the business space, being a business owner myself, it's one of those things where you hear all the horror stories of starting a business, like a legit business, not something like not an at home, something you just do in the house and you could generate some passive income and not really lose anything. I'm talking about like legit, like spend money on the space, buy equipment, things like that. Being in that space and you hear the horror stories prior to owning your own businesses of you know. Uh, the first 2 years you gotta be willing to lose money and blah 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 and things like that and if you don't come in with your own money you can go into debt. If you're taking out loans you gotta pay these, all of those things, all of those horror stories. And being blessed enough to this point so far to not have to deal with any of those horrors is like it makes me look at the business world a lot different because I've seen people do it without taking in a business loan, high or low interest. I've seen it. I've experienced I've seen like businesses just completely fail because you jump too far out in front um without building like the building enough groundwork to make things keep like continuously move. All of those things factor in, and I look at it and I took this situation with Soldier Boy and I said, man, I couldn't imagine what I like where I would be in business just having just a portion of the money that he has and the intellect that I have to one to continuously learn about whatever it is you're getting into and just knowing like the market of whatever you're getting into. So if you're getting into electronics and gaming and things like that, and you're not really part of that community, you kind of don't really know what's going on. You're just trying to, you're just going online. You're trying to catch a trend. But then if you're doing all that and then you're missing the entire trend, it's like, what's up? I'm in the fitness where I'm a fitness owner. I own a fitness business, and we always are looking for what's the trend, what's going on. Not the trend of like what the activity is. This the trend of how are people selling, how are people getting members, how are members staying, what's the like, how do you retain those members, what makes them happy, what they don't like, what's the good price point, what's a good price point versus a competitive price point versus the price point where we can still keep the doors open and profit. All of those things factor in instead of just tossing money and saying I got this and I'm running stuff and I got a business, blah blah blah. You know, it's bigger. It's a lot bigger than just having the money to be able to do it. Just Yeah, I mean, having multiple businesses just to stay relevant could be his demise at the end of the day if he doesn't find something that he's doing right. He had to do something that he understands. I think that he should have really just did a lot more business. He should have, like, tech is good, but knowing where we are with one, you got a council, you created this council, or you're partnered with this council, or put your name on this council that was already made, that doesn't give you internet access. There's no competitive online play. That's where we are in today's era of gaming. Even on your phone, if there are games on your phone, words with friends and all the, even like something that simple, it's like, man, I don't have to play this game by myself. I don't only have to play with the people that are in my household. All of those things matter now because we're in an era of social media where we're reaching out to all of these people. We want to be able to feel like we're engaged with people from all across the world. And gaming is the biggest accumulator of that base. I play games often. I play the game almost every day. And you never know where you're playing your opponent is coming from. You never know that, or people you're playing on your team randomly. You always have a conversation like, oh, where you from? Oh, I'm in Philly, and they're like, oh, I live in Texas, and oh, I'm in DC, and I'm out here in Denver, and you're talking to people, and you're like, man, this gaming community is so vast, and for me to be sitting in Philly to be playing the game at the same exact time as someone in another state in a different time zone and playing someone from Asia and things like that, that's what the world is about now because we want to feel attached to everything while not having to leave our house. So that idea of the council, of him getting involved with that council, in my opinion, was a bad business decision. Like Soulja Boy putting his money behind an emulator, in my opinion, is a bad business decision. And now you have Nintendo coming after you or after that company because they have games that aren't licensed to them legally. And the same thing will probably happen with PlayStation. The same thing that happened with Sega and every other emulator that he has on there because that's what happens. You don't have permission. You don't have these licenses. We're going to sue you. Get your business in order. It's the business of doing business. So it's a lot that goes on with stuff like that, man. Besides that, I mean, he's in the front. Soulja Boy, he's in the front of the media. Has been there since the beginning of the year. Signed a new deal. Allegedly, Def Jam, I want to say Def Jam was like reaching back out to his team or to him, you know, figuring out a way if they can do business together again or restructuring the deal, whatever the case may be. I don't know all the truth behind that, but it is what it is, man. It was, hopefully it's going to be more music and more strategizing in his business and in the front of that. But as far as being like the guy to talk about so far 2019, it's Soulja, and I'm glad, because in the beginning of the year it was R. Kelly. So for Soulja Boy to be able to move R. Kelly out of the way as far as being the thing to talk about, if he gonna keep doing bullshit to keep that name down, I'm here for it. If he's gonna be able to keep all those negative things out of the light, I'm here for it. Let all those things be handled in court and all those like, but let's not continuously shed light because Spotify, I believe it's Spotify, stopped his music. Like you try to play R. Kelly and they be like, we won't play this artist. I don't know about Apple and things like that. I haven't tried. I've seen people like screenshot it and send it. Um, I'm not in the mood to listen to any of the stuff, so I'm not like seeking it out. But people are sharing these uh images of them. Just going. Some of them are just going to go check and see how much are these people for us or just for the money. So if people are going to check to see if you can still play R. Kelly stuff, it is what it is. Yeah, he is. Soulja is going to get burnt for those ROMs. He definitely will. I agree 100%, Glenn. Like I don't see it being like I know that. Like that's a business that I wouldn't get into if they wanted me to do it for free. It's like I don't really see the good. Like what are you doing? Okay, let me get in business now, but I want to wait until you're doing something like a real console. I want to wait till you get into online gaming. Let's do stuff like that. You can create your own games and just have them, just creating an internet port on the game. I obviously isn't a hard thing. It's just the adapter. It's just creating that network, getting good enough servers that's going to be able to run, for your system. That's the stuff that I'm interested in as a person that's gaming. What's the online community going to look like for this? How are we going to be able to make more money from the microtransactions? And then you take it from there. But that's just me knowing gaming. Everything else. I can't create my own video game because that's just not an area of expertise I'm into. But yeah, he doesn't. No part. Nothing to do with the programming. Nothing. I don't think he knows though either. I don't think he understands that. Like I don't think he can just walk in there and be like, "Oh, these are the games that's coming out on this console next year that are exclusive to this game, and these are the ones that are going to be on this system and PS4 and Xbox One and Switch, whatever." He doesn't know these things. He just said, "Video game, okay, cool. Let's put some money behind it." Then he's walking around screaming and hollering, um, creating attention. But then when you actually sit down, like the people who actually care about these types of things, sit down and look at him like, this is kind of stupid. Why would I make that business decision? And why even put yourself in a position where you could potentially be sued for using games that don't belong to you? It's a tough world to be in. Like, the video game world isn't for the faint of heart. There have been plenty of people try to create their own gaming console, and it's not going to work out because of the big names who sit at the top: Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. Atari couldn't even do their own relaunch, and they used to be a big name back when gaming was first really introduced as a big thing. They tried, didn't work. So, Soulja Boy, get out of the gaming space unless you're doing it properly. I would have rather him get into like the cell phone space, because cell phones start off like this thing everyone talk about is unpopular, the phone ugly, or it doesn't work, or if it's not an iPhone or an Android, uh now got just a Galaxy. You can't even have a regular Android no more. But it's like one of those things where if it's not one of those, you don't want to hear about it. But after time, something becomes popular. LG got out, started getting into that space, and they did TVs. And I'm like, man, they do great TVs. They gotta do great phones. The screen has to be immaculate because we're looking for the clearest screen, the biggest screen, the most smoothest touch screen, something that don't break. There's a lot of things that go into that. So he could get into those types of electronic cell phones, TVs, computer monitors, other things he could have been making for gaming. He could have been trying to do like headsets, like gaming headphones, and what's it called, aftermarket controllers, all of those types of things. Not a console, not an emulator being knocked off as a console. That's like, there's so many other ways you can get into this business. You know, it is too crowded. I believe the gaming market is crowded, but I think it's dominated by those main three competitors, and you have to find your way in through secondary things. Like there are companies who just make the best aftermarket controllers, and they're just cheaper than buying a new PS4 controller. A PS4 controller, new one, is like $60. You can buy another one for $24, $25, $30. That's just as good. Works perfectly fine. So for them to have that market available, that things like that, you can get into it. A lot of music artists are getting into the headphone space where they're just creating new headphones, different designs, same marketing. A lot of it's based around the beat type of design. How they're making them, and they just make different designs or try to come up with something first. That's where I think he would have better fit something musically. So you could do something like that. Reach out to FL Studios. You're a producer. Reach out to FL Studios and try to come up with ways to, get different content on there that's exclusive to you. FL Studio Soulja Boy edition or something. Like all of those things. You could have been doing any of those things. So, that's his money. Do with it as he please, I guess. But I just know if I had those type of funds and I wanted to get into these spaces, I would be looking at it completely different. business wise. Neither here nor there, man. That is what it is. So, you know, let's talk about a couple of things that real brief, just go over that we might not really care about, but it's just happening in hip hop. We got Danielle Bergoli, i.e., Bad Baby, just did a deal with a makeup company. It was a $900,000 signing deal, I believe, with this company. The first 24 hours, she made $500,000. Now, Bad Baby herself said, I guess, before the numbers about the sales came out, was saying pretty much like, this makeup line is going to rival what Kylie is doing, Kylie Jenner. And of course, people laughed her off the stage and all about it. But to make 500K in your first day, first 24 hours after signing, I think that's amazing. I think that you should feel like that. You should feel like your business is going to rival whatever we're considering to be the top business or the top front runner for that thing at that time. You should feel comfortable to say that. I know, like, and the thing about it is, like, Bad Baby's 15. I believe. I think she's 15. She got a Snapchat deal. She got a record deal, obviously, and now she just signed a $900,000 deal and did 500K in the first 24 hours. So for her future financially, it's looking like she'll be pretty secure. But for other people, they're just looking at it. They still have the cash me outside bad taste in their mouth, and that's okay. A lot of people do. I mean, I still do. I still question her music because I know she don't write it. I still question her rise to fame because we, as a social community, have bred that. Like, we created her. Um, and now we have to live with it. It's one of those things. Like, you create somebody, then you gotta live with it. And her fan base is growing every day in a more growing toward a more positive too. Not just like the people who are disrespectful to their parents and they think it's cool and they think they're gonna become viral over it. It's growing in the sense of people are really liking her music, and obviously people are really digging this new makeup thing. So I commend her for that. That's what's up. I'm glad she's doing some more things and creating good business for herself, or has a good team around her, finding her good business opportunities, and she's putting her money or her brand and image on the right things. So far, she hasn't failed. So I'm here for that. I'm all for that. That's what's up. Um, this Cardi B versus Tomi Lahren thing. I'm glad Cardi said something. I don't need her to say anything, and I say this on Empower We Trust as well, that I don't want her talking politics as far as like just like the details and the ins out of things if she doesn't know what she's talking about. And she said it too, like, I'm probably the last person I should be talking about this, but she just feels some kind of way about it. She's scared. She's scared. But for the backlash between them two on Twitter was pretty good. I'm here for it. I'm always here for some Tomi Lahren beef because she says a lot of things that piss off a lot of people, and she uses it to her advantage. Even if she doesn't mean to, and she just being her, whatever it is. I'm always here for her beefing with someone else. Not saying I support her views and ideas, because 99.9% of the time, I do not. She be saying some shit, either it's overly racist or stupid as fuck. But she got her platform. She has the right to say whatever she want to say. And I'm glad Cardi B said something. You need more people. Always, it's always a thing. You need more people in general speaking on it. Period. It's one of those things where, like, they just need to be bigger voices saying things, and Trump don't care. He's not gonna care about it. He's not gonna, like, he's a big name himself. I'm the president when I was famous before that. Like, everybody knows who I am. I don't care. Your celebrity doesn't impress me. So, Cardi B, keep it up. Fight for the people. Speak on it, and hopefully this whole government shutdown will be over soon, with peaceful resolution, and everyone who's losing money, it is said that they'll get their back pay. Um, so that issue there, hopefully just their living situations are okay, and it's not really causing people to lose hope. Hopefully, no one's losing their home and things like that. Hopefully, your landlord is of understanding. Um, I know that I believe that like if you own your home, the people who you're paying your mortgage to, they might not care, but that's the society that we live in. Um, yeah, yeah. Cardi versus Tomi Lahren, man. I'm here for it. They could beef every day over something all the time. Cardi B said, "I'll dog walk you," and Tommy said, "You might. You probably would." I'm here. That admit when you're wrong. Um, Kanye doing gospel music with 112. Christian music. That's what they labeled it. Christian music. I don't know the difference between gospel music and Christian music. I don't know if there's a distinction between that and like Catholic music and stuff like that. Just gospel music. Um, are we here for it? I know beyond like the whole cancel Kanye thing, but musically, people are still working with him. Obviously, the things that he's doing is not as bad as like a mute R. Kelly situation. He's just annoying as fuck, and people don't respect his views for Trump. But what is like? What would that like? What is that gonna sound like? It was weird to me when they were talking about it. I was like, Kanye and 112. I was like, okay, cool. But then it was like Christian music. I was like, wait, what? Weirded me out a little bit. It is what it is. And they were talking to Slim, and he ain't Slim no more. So he might need an artist change. They gonna have to call him something else, cause that it ain't Slim. Weirded me out, and I was like, man, time, time hit some people hard. When they get out of that limelight and they get comfortable, I was like, yeah, I can't see it either. I mean, Kanye has made some songs that are like very inciting and things like that, or emotional. He made some very emotional type of tracks. Sometimes you're like, man, he must have been in a crazy headspace when he did this song. But Christian music, I don't know. Uh, but he's the producer, so I can hear all of the soul samples. I can hear them reaching out to Kurt Franklin and all them other people, and just to get a lot of sampling done and a lot of clearance on the samples. But one thing he can't do, you can't go trying to final mix a gospel album the day it's supposed to drop. Because I heard that community is kind of vicious when it comes to the music they want. That gospel music community, they like, hey, we was waiting for this gospel album. I prayed on it. This is the devil's work now because it's not out. Kanye, don't be the devil. Do not hold up their music. I don't want to I don't want to see all up and down your timeline how you're like, some devil worshiper and they're praying for you all because the album didn't drop. Don't be that guy. So, all right, so let's transition over. The biggest news of the current week past is Chris Brown had some rape allegations out in Paris. Okay. Him and I believe it was two other gentlemen were arrested. Rape allegations. Now, prior to news, I believe that came out today saying that the young lady who are making these allegations said that it's not Chris Brown. So I'm assuming there's other people in this camp, but it came out that Chris Brown ain't have nothing to do with it. Cool. I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm mad that it was anybody. I'm mad that it was people in this camp. I'm just mad that the whole, there are rape allegations in general. But I am glad to hear that it's not Chris Brown as well. Because having a domestic charge to your name and now rape allegations too, like it would have been over for Chris Brown. Seemingly. So here's my issue. We don't have to go into the details of that. We know what rape allegations are, and we don't have too many details on the actual allegation, when, where, why, stuff like that. My issue comes into this. There have been women on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook that I've seen since the allegations hit before his name even being cleared. They were like, I don't care. I don't care. He can be a rapist. I don't care. I still love Chris Brown. I'm still going to listen to his music. He can rape me anytime, multiple times, blah, blah, blah. And I sat back and I was like, is this is disgusting. This is the culture that we're in. It's not comparable to the R. Kelly thing when we're talking about him and young women of who aren't old enough and shouldn't be given the consent to have sex with children. But they were also slandering R. Kelly for meeting women at 17, which is still too young, but is legal age of consent. They were slandering R. Kelly for having these 30, 35-year-old women locked inside of this sex cult and all the things like that. But then to turn around and say that they don't care if Chris Brown was a rapist, he can rape, and they were serious. I'm talking about like there were women out here arguing on their posts. It wasn't just meant to be funny. They weren't just saying it to be funny. They meant it. They were defending their stance. They were like, hey, I don't care if he would have raped that girl. He could rape me anytime. I really mean it. They were blocking people from their posts for like, yo, you crazy. Like, why would you even say that? That's just the world we live. They were like, who else wants to get blocked? This was the things that were going on up and down the timeline since the allegations for Chris Brown things came out. And again, I'm going to say he was cleared of the charge. He is not a rapist. The girl said that it wasn't him. The girl. I don't care how it came about. She said it. I'm rolling. So now that we have these women out here who have this type of mindset, it makes it hard to always continuously point this finger at men, especially celebrities who are put in these types of situations, because a lot of them just get wrote off from the beginning. Oh, you're disgusting. How dare you? All these types of things. And it's sad because as men, we're supposed to be so empathetic when things like this happen to women. And I am. Like, it's sad. Crime in general is just fucking disgusting. But especially when you're doing something to hitting women, raping women, murdering women, whatever the case may be, it's all disgusting because it's like, come on, man, we're supposed to be trying our best to protect this so we can have a future, blah, 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 long story short. But to see the women that we are supposed to be respecting to the highest power say, I don't care if he raped that girl. I don't give a fuck. It's still Chris Brown. I love him. He's sexy. And all the other things they were saying just discrediting, not even discrediting, just taking what this girl could have went through and saying, oh, well, it's Chris Brown. What are you complaining for? That's the same thing that some of these people were saying about R. Kelly. Not talking about the child allegations of R. Kelly. We're just talking about the adults involved. The child shit, yeah, burn in jail. So I don't get it. Like, what is it? What is it that makes it okay that if Chris Brown was a rapist, makes it okay for the women to come out and say, I don't care. Fuck that girl's story. If it was me, I'll be happy. I'd be happy. What makes that okay? What makes that the thing to say or do? Like, keep that shit to yourself. That's how I feel about it. That's how I felt about it when I saw it up and down my timeline. I'm like, you don't have to say that out loud. Just keep it to yourself. Fantasize on your own time. But don't knock other people, because if it was a regular guy, non-celebrity, even if you found him to be attractive, you wouldn't be like, I don't care if he raped that girl. I don't care. I think he's so sexy, blah, blah, blah. You'll be like, he's fucking nasty because he doesn't have the money to back his image. You know what I'm saying? And then we come up with the terms like gold digger and shit like that. So, and then women get mad at us when we look at him. We have definitive proof of these things. And we're not saying that all women are gold, blah, 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 but they exist. Because for somebody to be comfortable enough to say that out their mouth on a public platform and mean and then stand by, it's not a joke. It wasn't a meme. It wasn't just like, now I'm playing. It was like, no, seriously. Like, you're losing friends over this. You're blocking people. You don't give a fuck. I was like, come on, that's stupid. I agree. I agree. Like, who said, like, who they were like, I don't care. Chris Brown could rape me. I'd be happy as fuck. It's like, no, that's a bad situation to be in. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. I don't care who the celebrity is. I don't care who the person is. But at the same time, it's not rape if you want it. It's not rape if you're giving it up. And you're just saying, like, I'll give it up to Chris Brown. So the fuck he got to rape. That's what it comes down to. Is like, I would give it up to Chris Brown for nothing. So why would he have to rape this girl? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the mentality that a lot of the women have. But that doesn't make it right. It has to be the money. Because Chris Brown, it could have been Chris Brown from up the street. It could be the same exact guy, looked the same exact way. Where he could have been a struggling singer trying to make it, buck and dance and whatever, and did it. He would have been a disgusting motherfucker, and he deserved to burn in hell. And blah blah blah. Who rapes women? Who does that? It's 2019. Who still do that? It would have been all those type of comments. But because he has millions in the bank and he's popular, it's like, it's okay. He can rape me all day. It's dumb. It's the dumbest shit I ever heard. And I'm so glad his name was cleared again. I'm glad because he already had a bunch of other things going on. He's still, daily, I'm pretty sure someone's saying something to him about him in the Rihanna situation. Daily, I'm pretty sure someone tweets to him daily and says something to him about being a woman beater or some shit like that. He got to deal with that every day for the rest of his life. So to have a rape charge added to that, he would have been canceled, and there still would have been women writing them letters, sending them pictures while he was in jail, pen paling and fantasizing and saying, like, I don't care what you did, I'm still so in love with you. The fandom of that. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. That's one thing I can say about being a fan as a man versus being a fan as a female, that the outward appearance of your fandom is sometimes like, for women it's disgusting sometimes. Like the groupie culture, when you think about groupies, when you say groupies, you don't think men. You don't think men going to the shows of celebrity women standing front row taking off their shirt trying to get their chest seen because they've been in a fucking gym for the last 4 years. That's not the image that comes to mind. The image that comes to mind is a bunch of women front row showing their titties to the fucking celebrity trying to get backstage to fuck him or whatever, to get a piece of his fame, and now is to build your social media to get a picture and whatever the case may be, or to get knocked by him to have his baby so you can have a check for him. Those are all the things that go through your mind when you say groupie. You don't think of men at all. You say groupie, you go straight to women. And it's disgusting. Because it shouldn't be like that. But then when things like that are said, you understand why. Like for example, we had the whole, like, a lot of the women teachers who were sleeping with, like, the boys at their schools, middle school, high school, elementary school, whatever. And a lot of men say, damn, where were these teachers at when I was in school? That's probably the lowest on the scale that you've seen men say something of the stature of, I don't care if she's a rapist, quote unquote. Where were these types of teachers at when I was in school? Because I would have banged one of my, that's the mindset we have sometimes. And then we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but when we say stuff like that, it's like, we're disgusting. It's like, oh my God, y'all are so fucking nasty. Like, that's a child. She blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we get it. We just were saying, like, that's a hot teacher, and if I was a 13-year-old, I would have did it too. Whatever happens to the teacher, you like, what? That's the teacher. Okay, whatever. But you got to think, from a child to an adult, a 13-year-old boy to a grown woman who wants to have sex with you. The boy, even if he thinks like this is wrong, he's still thinking, one, they're hormone driven, they're boys, and they're sexually attracted to that teacher. Whatever happens to that adult is on them. Yes, it's wrong on the behalf of the adult. I get that. But we just speak on it like, damn, whatever teacher. I had a popping ass 4th grade teacher, and I would have hit. We say shit like that, and then we keep it moving. But it's crazy because we have, you know, like the one guy who went to prison that time, and people were sharing his image around. A lot of women was like, I don't care what he did, child. I'm all for it. He can have me. And I was like, whoa. Well, what if he's in jail for like raping and murdering a little girl? You don't even know. You're just sharing his picture around and saying you don't care what he did. To not care of someone's crime because of your sexual attraction to them, to not even knowing what their crime is before you're saying that you would like, you don't care, like you would still have sex with them regardless of, it's kind of disgusting. It's like, come on. And we're supposed to be holding up these higher standards for women. We're supposed to be like, hey, you should think so much better of yourself, and you should be looking for someone who's on your level or better, someone trying to upgrade you, and all these things that y'all say, and then turn around and say, I still fuck Chris Brown if he was a rapist. I don't care. You're like, what the fuck? You would still give somebody like that your time of day because of their celebrity, because their popularity, because they could potentially do something for you if you guys were a public thing. You can get some more followers on your Instagram or be able to generate a business off the back of that. So you're willing to publicly shame yourself or just be in a nasty, distasteful place of someone who was actually accused of these types of things and they were deemed to be true. That's sick. And again, I'm glad it wasn't true about Chris Brown. I'm glad that he didn't do it. I'm upset that maybe someone in his entourage did. But hopefully they're cleared as well. Hopefully it's just false. Hopefully the girl's lying. I always hope that. I never think that the girl is lying. I just always hope that the girl is lying because I don't want anyone to have been raped. Not the fact, like there's no other factors behind that for me when I say I hope she's lying. I just hope she's lying because I don't really want her to have been raped. I would rather you lie about it and try to extort them from money because they had you in a room by yourself and you're like, oh, this is a great opportunity to get paid. I would rather that than you have of actually have been raped. Take that how you want. I would rather every woman who claims rape to be a liar because I don't want you to have been through it. And for those of you who have, I'm highly empathetic to it because I think it's disgusting. It's way too much going on out here for anybody to have to do that. We have access to millions of women at the fucking tip of our fingers. Your shooting percentage can't be that bad. You better start shooting at them all. Someone's going to give it up at some point. Somebody's going to cave. That's how I look at it. But just going back to the mentality of that, the mentality of the women, it's a little disturbing to me because that's what we have to deal with as a society. And then we have to be, as men or just as people, have more empathy for women who would blink and throw their whole bodies at the next celebrity because of their personal infatuations. They're willing to excuse their crime. Something like I think something like child molestation or rape or just and then rape in general are crimes that are inexcusable. Domestic violence is like in that list, but at the bottom because sometimes you don't know what was going on in that situation. Not in any situation should a man put his hands on a female, but some men have been arrested for protecting themselves because the female was being the attacker, and it ended up getting flipped around. So those have happened before. So you gotta tread that line. But any type of rape, forcing yourself upon women or children sexually, I think are unexcusable things for women to be like, okay, that was his past. I think it's just like, no, like that's the person. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather be in a relationship with someone who I know went to jail for murder, manslaughter, assault, and things like that, robbing banks, whatever, all the other crimes, grand larcenies and all that shit, before I even think about anybody. Like before I can't see me fucking with one of the teachers who had sex with a little 13-year-old boy when she was a teacher, and I come out like, but that was her past. She got over it. She served her time, and we're in love. I can't even see me being in that relationship from the get go as a grown ass man. So for the women who are chasing this celebrity mentally, because they're not. I don't see them like. Of course, they're majority of them don't have access to a Chris Brown. But for them to just say it out their mouths and to be chasing this celebrity after something being alleged, like what if it all would have came out to be true, and you were standing by your stance before you found out it was false? You were standing your ground. They're Those are unforgivable crimes, man. Harming children, especially when it's sexually, harming women, especially when it's sexually. It's sick and nasty, and those are things that I couldn't look at you every day, say I'm in love, and knowing that you were a rapist, knowing you were a child molester. I couldn't do that. But that just goes to show that some people, not just women, there are some people who are sick. You know. Again, I don't know about like the male groupie culture. I don't think it's driven, like it's not the same. It's not as commonly seen. Of course, there are a bunch of men at shows with female celebrities who are like, she could take me home right now. She can get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think all of us carry ourselves the same way. Like I need to see, like I will find it hilarious. I need to see videos of like male groupies like trying to force their way into the lobby and trying to be front row and trying to get the celebrities attention so bad to get backstage, and all. Like I want to see these things because I want to see how accurate it works. One, because I just think women celebrities, from what you see from the outside looking in, carried themselves different. Like they're not just going to be picking up men at every stop on tour, from my understanding. They might. There might be female celebrities who like, you crazy. Every fucking stop I go to on tour, I got a different motherfucker that come in my room and eat the box. I don't give a fuck. It could be women like that. It's not talked about. It's not speaking on like it's a culture. You know, I don't see males front running the groupie culture. We have a groupie culture of women. They're Instagram famous, and they literally have publicly been in relationships with some of the top guys in the game. So it just goes to show like what type of mentality is that? We're supposed to respect that. Nah, man, respect her hustle. That's her grind. That's how she get her money. If these rappers want to be dumb and keep wifing the same chicks, that's on them. Okay, I partially agree with that. But the girl who does it in the neighborhood when everybody's not celebrities, but you be like, she had sex with Brian, Jacob, and Tommy, and they all live within the same 3 blocks, and they homies. She was in a relationship with all them niggas. And now she just a fucking neighbor. She a fucking hoe. She dumb. None of them niggas. And always coming out of this. She fucking all these niggas and they ain't got shit. First thing rolling off the tip of everybody's tongue now. You fucking with him, he ain't got shit. You like him, ooh, what he about? He ain't about nothing. He ain't got nothing. That's where we at in society. What if she just liked them guys? Or what if she just got a groupie culture for neighborhood guys? Like, that's her thing. Oh, these homies, oh my God, I'm so in love with these guys. But when it's not a celebrity, it's frowned upon. But they're men. They're men. What makes it different? The money. The fame. That's what makes it different. So the money makes it right. The celebrity of that person now makes certain allegations excusable. That's where we are in this society. That's where we are. That's how trash we have become. Like, I find it disturbing. I'm actually disturbed because you don't know how to approach some of these things. You don't know how to approach women anymore because you don't know if they're going to be genuine in their views about life until some shit happens and you see what type of person that they are mentally, emotionally. You look and you're like, man, this is kind of crazy. She said that. She said, I don't care if he's a rapist. She said he can rape me anytime, and she meant it. She lost friends over these comments. She stood her ground. She started blocking people on social media because they were trying to talk her off the cliff. Girl, get down from there. You about to die. Get down. Nah, I'ma jump. Mind your business. I'ma jump. You know, it's one of those situations where I don't know. It's a little disturbing. It's a little disturbing to me. I don't because I can't call it. I can't gauge it. I don't know what to do or what to say or how to approach these situations anymore when you're looking at women and trying to figure women out. Like, what do you stand for? But I don't know. That's where we are as a society, guys. That's where we are. But I'm gonna wrap this up. Again, I thank everybody who was tuning in on IG Live, everybody who tuned in on Facebook, the comments, shout outs. I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Um, I'm just gonna go over it again. Every Tuesday night, I'm gonna try to go live, engage with everyone as much as I can. Try to have the audio out by Wednesday morning, after the latest. Try to have the visual out by Wednesday night, by Wednesday night, Thursday morning at the latest. Um, for all of the artists who are submitting music for my review, EPs or albums only. EPs or albums only. Please make sure it's on a major streaming platform. Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Amazon Music, whatever. Not SoundCloud. I do not want your SoundCloud link. I'm not listening to it. I want something that it has been so far deemed original since it's not taken down off of streaming. I want to give a critique. I want to try to help you give streams by talking about your album, good or bad. EPs, albums only. Don't send me links, and it's only thing that's there is a single. I won't listen. I just won't listen to it. Not saying that I'm important enough and it's gonna hurt your sales or whatever, but I'm not gonna waste my time because I really want to help build a bigger platform for independent artists. So that's it for this, guys. This highly flavored podcast. This is episode 18. Episode 18, guys, and I'm gone. See ya.